Ladies and gentlemen, this is Internet Personality Vangelus, and it's almost time for the green light to shine on the interdimensional HLJ racetrack. Alternity returned in 2013, partnering with Super GT and implying the Transformer War had evolved into friendly racing, kind of like the final season of Mask. Anyway, the whole line is basically a wall of Alternity convoys with remolded heads and chassis, and today I'm looking at Prime and Saber, the pair that kicked off the line's long run of 4 figure releases. These are heavy remolds of the original Alternity Convoy's GTR alt mode, souped up for racing and covered in tampagraphing. I'm not even gonna try to describe everything that's here, but it's on topic and gorgeous to behold in person. Everything's crisp and legible, even the tiny printwork on the tires and side mirrors. Hell, there's some tiny silver box printing on the door windows. The red and blue plastic of Prime and Saber's car panels also receive a gloss coat that provides a truly premium finish and just heaps of visual wow and bang. There's a very good reason why the packaging features a top-down view of these car modes so prominently. And the aforementioned car chassis remolding's been executed really well too. There's more bodywork here than new bumpers and a rear spoiler, extra chunk, different mirrors, thicker tires. I was pleasantly surprised by all the extra work. Granted, there's a sponsor involved, as Super GT worked in direct collaboration with Takara Tomy on this project, but the end result is a treat. Just like the original Alternity Convoy, these guys have opening doors, a featured interior, and a poppable hood with an engine inside. The engines even have some crisp tampagraphing. What a nice touch. The interiors are identical, all wheel on the right side and not including floors or legroom. These Super GT Transformers each include a signature weapon, and the instructions literally describe, well, this as the storage method for vehicle mode. Prime's gun wedges into the spoiler, flexing the plastic rather unsafely, while Saber's blade just sits there. The instructions refer to this as attack mode. Sure guys, somebody believes you. I'm sure somebody believes you. The transformation of these Super GTs is completely identical to Alternity Convoys, so check it out. It's Optimus Prime and Star Saber, ditching their prefixes and looking a whole lot like Alternity Convoy. Due to all their race car remolding, the GTs look bulked up and armored out compared to the original. I love how this looks on their legs, but the already janky shoulders of their predecessor becomes a jumbled mess here, with even less range of movement and a whole lot of parts bumping into parts. Getting a little more individual, GT Prime resembles Alternity Convoy, only with, like, black boots rather than red ones. His color scheme's source material is clear, and his head is a brand new sculpt. The main theme here, aside from the big racing helmet visor dome on his forehead, is the combination of big speaker earphones and a friggin' microphone mounted on his faceplate. It's ridiculous in my favorite way. Why does the microphone need to be there? His mouth is behind a plate. GT Prime's signature weapon is this black handgun. It looks fine. It functions like hot garbage. It's supposed to fit into his fist hole, and it simply does not. There's no friction, it's held in by gravity, jiggles around stupidly, and falls out on a whim. Terrible. So let's look at Saber. Once you get past all the car parts, this is pretty clearly Star Saber, an identity carried entirely by his paintwork. Every single piece that isn't a piece of car mass is painted anything but blue, and astoundingly on-model to G1 Star Saber. Like, his legs look like the original Star Saber, with car part leg warmers on his shins. Very, very impressive. And the head sculpt tops it all off, sharing the visor dome and earphone mouth mic theme of Prime's, but over a shape that is unmistakably Star Saber. This guy naturally includes a sword knife weapon thing, which sports a translucent blue blade and fairly awkward fist hole connection. But hey, at least it actually works. The Super GT Transformers feature GT Sisters, projections of the power of their leadership matrices that have taken on the form of human race queens. You know what? Sure, maybe they're just into it. These are based on Microman bodies and are not in any way, shape, or form in scale with the GTR car modes. Sorry guys, but hey, they do look pretty cool standing with the robot modes. Scale's a funny thing, huh? Prime's partner, Misaki, sports some awesome chrome red paint on her outfit, while Saber's GT sister Anna features metallic blue and some asymmetrical attire. These two have a lot of unique parts, going well beyond the simple head swaps that I was expecting. They also include a pile of spare hand options, resembling each other even less, as Misaki's hands swap out halfway up her forearms, while Anna's swap at the wrist cuffs of her sleeves. The GT sisters are pretty friggin' posable and don't feel too fragile. At a glance, I was expecting these to feel extremely frail, but the joints are all quite robust and exude a sense of durability. For all their unique parts, Misaki and Anna have identical articulation at the end of the day, though Misaki's hair sculpt blocks a lot of her neck range, and both sisters' miniskirts obliterate most of their hip range. Those ab crunches, though. Right? Look at that. That's a bend. If ab joints are your bag, then you're a papa with a brand new one. These Alternity GT guys are a bit of an oddity, and that's kind of par for the course whenever Takara Tomy does a collaborative Transformers project with, well, anyone at this point. The strongest feature is by far the paintwork, particularly on the car modes. The level of fit and finish elevates these GTRs to another plateau of premium presentation. It's eye-catching and attention-grabbing within seconds of seeing these in person, and almost kept me from transforming them for nearly an hour after first opening them up. It's after that conversion when you realize that, at their core, these are still the somewhat dated Alternity Convoy toy with a whole lot of attractive ink added on top of a still aging and sorta limited body. Saber manages to impress with his paint one more time, literally looking like G1 Star Saber wearing a car costume, but there's nothing new about the play value of the figures, and their new accessories either struggle or outright fail to integrate with the Alternity Convoy mold. As for the GT sisters, they're fairly decent little action figures. Thing is, I can't definitively tell you if they'll do anything for you, as they're anime race queens that kinda don't have much of anything to do with their partner robots outside of shared colors and some kooky written fiction. And being fully featured micro-ladies, they add at least a fistful of dollars to the retail price. This is a line for the Transformers fan cross-sections that dabble in Super GT, race cars in general, or race queens. What they've done is really well done, but it's all inside of the confines of, well, Alternity Convoy. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, and Alternity GT appears to have come to a quiet end after 4 releases in total. Takara Tomy's new insane collaboration as of this recording is to make video game systems that turn into Optimus and Megatron. Will those eventually work Micro-Lady figures into the mix? Hey, maybe if a Dreamcast happens, there'll be like a Space Channel 5 crossover or something.